This movie is about the line height property. It's worth setting line height in the body selector, as all elements are inside of the opening and closing body tags on your page and will therefore inherit this value. Headings that wrap to 2 or more lines, lists, block quotes, and many other elements can use some space for clarity, but it's probably the paragraphs where you'll find the increased legibility will be most noticeable by setting your line height. Here's an example. I have 2 paragraphs. The first paragraph has a line height of about 150. The second paragraph has a line height of 100%, so you can see that the increased spacing between my lines makes this paragraph much more legible. The rule is simple. If we look here in the linked style sheet, sample2.css, we can see that for my body tag, I have a rule set up that sets the line height right here to 150%. Probably the optimum setting here is 125%. That's going to be 125% of the font size right here that I've set. In this case, font size is 12 pixels. Let's go ahead and make that 14 pixels. That'll be a little bit more legible. And then notice the change over here in this paragraph. Because I'm using a percentage for my line height here, the spacing between the lines of text will be given the percentage of the current font size. So a line height of 100% will make no difference, whereas a line height of 200% will create twice as much space between the lines. In addition to setting line height to a percentage, other values can also be used. If you set your line height to normal, like so, this is exactly the same as specifying no line height at all, and it's only really useful if you wish to override the inherited line height for a particular element. You can also set your line heights to a number, such as the number 2. You can see the results of that change right here in this paragraph. This sets a number that will be multiplied with the current font size to set the distance between the lines. For example, because my font size here is 14, specifying a line height of 2 will result in a space of 28 pixels between the lines of text. If I set my font size to 12, let's go back up here to my style sheet and adjust my font size from 14 to 12, that will give me a 24 pixel value between my lines. You can also set your line height to a length. This sets a fixed distance between the lines, which is useful for very precise formatting. Let's go ahead and set up our line height here equal to 8 pixels. And that's very tight indeed, but it gives me very precise formatting. Let's change this now to 16 or 15 pixels will be about 125% of the 14 pixel font size. There's 15 pixels. Let's do 25 pixels. Really exaggerate the line spacing there. Now it's important to remember that when the text is resized, the line spaces will not increase or decrease at the same ratio as the text. So to ensure appropriate scaling when the text is resized, it's better to use a flexible length measurement such as an M value or a percentage. So there you have a property for controlling the spacing between lines of text. Let's move on to the next movie and learn the properties for controlling the spacing between letters in words, which is also referred to as kerning.